Yes, Mr. Hasan Mushrif is a tall leader, but he was a tall leader because of Mr. Sharad Pawar. My political relationship with the BJP is now over. Now my political process is with Mr. Sharad Pawar. See, we are not in an era of royalty. We are in the era of democracy. One thing is always permanent in politics: change, and that change is happening. I am not bringing that change. It's the voters of this constituency who are bringing this change.
Hello and welcome to HW News English. I am Shubham Chohan. We are currently in Kagal Assembly constituency. That's going to see a high profile battle between the two NCPs. This is a few kilometers away from Kolhapur city. And here we are going to see five-term MLA and minister in the Maharashtra government, Hasan Mushrif, face off against Samarjeetsinh Ghatge of the NCP led by Sharad Pawar. So this constituency has an interesting story, and joining me now to talk about his journey in politics so far, someone who just recently switched from the BJP to the NCP of Sharad Pawar. Joining me now is Mr. Samarjeetsinh Ghatge. So thank you so much for taking out the time.
My pleasure.
Firstly, a CA, a highly qualified professional in politics. What is the thinking behind that?
I always wanted to be in a professional capacity, but I think in politics one needs people from various qualifications to enter politics. I think if you want to bring a change, I think everyone from different fields must come into politics, and it has been a great journey for me, great learning experience, and I'm very sure that the coming elections we will be able to bring a constructive change in politics and a good mandate so that we can bring about good reforms for the constituency.
In 2019, you fought as an independent from this constituency. You bagged about 80,000, 90,000 odd votes, and yet you lost to Hasan Mushrif, who's known to be a tall regional leader here. After that, you joined the BJP, and now you're with the NCP of Sharad Pawar. How's that switch been? It's been a couple of months since you joined NCP of Sharad Pawar. Mr. Pawar himself was here to sort of welcome you into the party. How has that change been? Before I come to how that and why did that change
Yeah, I
happen?
understand. I had entered Bharatiya Janata Party in 2017 because the main reason was I wanted to contest and bring a change in the constituency. I don't oppose Mr. Hassan Mushrif individually. I just oppose his thought process and his politics, which has been fatal for my constituency. And unfortunately, because of the alliance issue, I had to stand independent. And again in 2023, when Mr. Hassan Mushrif left Mr. Pawar Sahib and came with Ajit Pawar here, the same situation arose. And in politics, if you want to win elections, you have to be with a party. You can't go independent. So I went and told my leadership that I want to fight and win this election. They offered me an MLC, but I said I'm not taking a backdoor entry. I'm going to win, get a mandate from the public, and that's when I decided to join Mr. Sharad Pawar. And it has been an interesting journey. Yes, Mr. Hasan Mushrif is a tall leader, but he was a tall leader because of Mr. Sharad Pawar.
You talked about being offered an MLC post. You said you reached out to your party's leadership. Did anyone from the BJP top leadership, including the likes of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, because it's been written several times that you are someone who was close to Devendra Fadnavis. So did he try to talk you out of this, or were you assured an assembly seat, and then the arithmetics of Ajit Pawar came into picture? Was that the case? Did things change?
As a political mentor, he did try to talk me out of it. But after a limit, he knew he couldn't persuade me much because he knew my think process. So I think we left it there and we decided to agree to disagree and informed him. And now I'm working with Mr. Sharad Pawar, and my political relationship with the BJP is now over. Now my political process is with Mr. Sharad Pawar.
A party that espouses the Hindutva cause versus a party that says we are with the Shahu Maharaj and that Phule Ambedkar, that ideology is something that we subscribe to. Is there a tough ideological switch to make because BJP and the NCP of Sharad Pawar are at two ends of the ideological spectrum? Is that a shift that took you time to sort of acclimatize yourself to?
Now, when I was in BJP, if you know one thing, that Rashtriya Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj comes from my family. He's my great grandfather who was adopted into the royal family. So we are called the Janak Gharana, that is the bloodline. And whenever I was in BJP, I always stuck to the cause of the socialistic and approaches of Shahu Maharaj. If you see my statements, you will not see my statements differently in BJP and not differently as far as the whole social harmony is concerned. So it's not a very big switch because first of all, when I was BJP, I stuck to my values, and when I come to Sharad Pawar, I'm stuck with my value. I stuck with my values, and I work with that.
You are one of the candidates whose name was almost a given once you entered the Sharad Pawar faction. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he said that he's looking at you not just as an MLA from Kagal, possibly hinting at a bigger role for you if the MBA comes to power. Um, it's been said that your switch was just purely opportunistic because you wanted to fight elections. This party did not offer you a ticket, which we've seen across the state of Maharashtra. In 2019, there was a string of leaders who went to BJP from NCP, and now we are seeing some of them come back. So, what is really changing on ground with regards to both these parties in your assessment?
I fought as independent 2019. I got 90. I lost because I didn't have a party candidature. At the end of the day, if I decide to start fight independent again, see, we are not in an era of royalty. We are in the era of democracy, and we have to understand that without a party support, you cannot win elections. And I have been very clear that I'm here. My top priority is bringing a change in this constituency. And so it's not a question of opportunity, it's a question of not allowing my constituency to have that opportunity to change. If I fought like independent again and I lost, it's a big loss to my constituency and my voters will never forgive me. So as far as that is concerned, for that change, I took the decision.
2023 was a turning point for the NCP when first Mr. Sharad Pawar said he was resigning, then that resignation. The whole drama happened before we saw Ajit Pawar split and go with the BJP. How do you see that move when at a time in states politics you have two Shiv Senas and you have two NCPs and you have six parties on either side, three each with an alliance? How do you see these dynamics, particularly post 2019 in Maharashtra politics?
I personally feel Maharashtra politics has taken a huge churning and a lot of confusion. But I'm very sure that in the Lok Sabha, the people gave a mandate as far as Maharashtra is concerned. And the people know clearly what they want to do. They have seen everything what has happened for the last 2.5 years. And we have to have faith on the voters' uh, smartness, the voters' ability to understand things. And they will give a clear mandate for Mahavikas Aghadi.
Two quick questions. First, on the royalty bit that you mentioned, that you said we're not in an era of royalty, we're in an era of democracy. Um, it's again a very frank question that sort of comes into my mind is there'll be a section of people who'll say that look, what do these royal people coming from royal family know? What about the elitism? They're used to sitting in swanky bungalows, AC cars. They don't know what it is like to grind on field. Especially some of the passionate karyakartas you speak to would say that. How difficult is it for you to overcome that image of someone who comes from the royal family and to prove that you are more than just someone who's from the royal family and that you are there to serve the people? How do you change that image? Is it a conscious effort you make to overcome that?
If you see Rashtriya Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, he was called Lok Raja. I mean, he was a king who was among the people, who was with the people. So was my father, late Mr. Vikram Singh Ghatge. He was called a Lok Nete. So he was among the people. I don't need to do anything to change that image because see, in the democracy, everybody is entitled to have their opinion. And the people who say that is the limited people from the opposition, and I think that is okay. Uh, I think we are having this freedom because of Baba Sahib, and I think they are allowed to say what they want to say. I don't need to do any conscious efforts because I'm among people, I'm with people, I'm there the whole day with people. If I was not among people in a independent three-way fight, I don't think 90,000 people would have kept faith in me. And today, let's be very frank, if that was the question, this would not have become a big fight and you wouldn't be covering it. And very frankly, wherever I am today is because of the media. I think I'm fighting on the media's AB form.
You think NCP will become one entity? You see the possibility of Ajit Pawar coming back, Kakamala Maaf Kara, and the whole family sort of becoming one. All's well that ends well. Do you see that possibility?
Personally, whatever I have my limited time so far with the NCP, I don't see that. I think Mr. Pawar, Adharaniya Sharad Pawar sees this an opportunity to bring fresh faces in the party. He sees it as an opportunity to have his party, which in future, whether it's Jayant Patil Sahib, Supriya Sureji, will going to lead it. So I think he sees it as an opportunity to revamp his own party. So I personally don't see that happening in the coming future.
Confident of defeating a five-time MLA from Kagal? Because five times is something, is quite a streak. 25 years a person is serving the constituency. Someone who was close to your mentor currently. You're confident of a victory there, and you think that 80,000 and more than 190,000 and more than 1 lakh what Hasan Mushrif got, you see that margin turning? Because now we are with Tutari, you see that margin turning?
One thing is there. One thing is always permanent in politics: change, and that change is happening. I am not bringing that change. It's the voters of this constituency who are bringing this change. And you know that people like the underdog. People like the dark horse. I am the underdog and dark horse according to Mr. Mushrif because he has everything. I have the support of the people. And you know something is happening here. Otherwise, you won't be covering this constituency. So I think you know something is happening. Something miraculously is going to happen. And we are going to have a power. I'm more than defeating Hasan Mushrif. I'm confident of people bringing a change for themselves. And then he losing is a byproduct of that.
The underdog. That's how Mr. Samarjeetsinh Ghatge of the NCP of Sharad Pawar is describing himself as. It's going to be a high-profile fight, mind you, because it's not just about two NCPs. It's about two leaders who are really working and sort of having established themselves in this constituency over the years. Mr. Ghatge, thank you so much for taking out the time amidst a hectic schedule of meetings. We are in the midst of the final lap. So that's all we have for this interview. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and subscribe to HW News English for more such conversations.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.